Hey, welcome back to another speaker's tip. Today, I want to talk about the amount of energy you throw into your speech. I bring this up because I was coaching a couple of people this week, and as I was watching their speeches, especially in a virtual environment, it just plays just as important on a stage, and they're practicing it, and I'm going, your energy is way too low. It sounds like you're reading the speech in your mind, and you're just going slowly through this, and I'm like waiting for each word. And so I had him do the speech a couple of times. This is interesting. There's two different people, and they're not improving. I finally just said, okay, I want you to give the speech to me, and I want you to feel like the energy is way over the top. You're giving way too much energy into the speech. And they gave the speech to me that way, and it was perfect. Now, I remember when I went through this, I would be on stage practicing a speech, and I had a coach coaching me, and they said, get your energy up. And I'm like, I felt like I was going to be screaming and yelling at the audience. But here's what I realized. First of all, just in living in life, a lot of times when we've been really boisterous and we've thrown a lot of energy out, people tell us to shut up. So a lot of times when we've been loud, we've disrupted people. And so we have a negative aspect on that. The other thing is most of our communication is given in an environment where we're not over the top with our energy because it's one-on-one communication. Now, just as an example, as I'm talking to you right now, I could lower my energy down to the level that the speeches were, and that would be like this. Well, today I want to talk to you about putting energy into your speech and why that's important. And a lot of people don't put enough energy into their speech, and it has a detrimental effect on how that's received by the audience. Now, that might be a way that I would talk to somebody if they were right in front of me. So even the amount of energy I'm putting in this right now would typically be over the top if I had somebody sitting right in front of me. But in order to get your projection and through the screen or out into the audience, you got to crank your energy level up. Now, the question is, what's too much? And this is where you have to do your own trial and error. And that's why I recommend videoing yourself if you're on stage. It's easy if you're doing it in a virtual environment because you can test it out in a virtual environment. Do a video, play it back, see, does that seem like it's too much, or does that still seem too low? Where do I need to be with this? And then you'll find your little equilibrium in there. But typically, for most up and coming speakers, same thing happened to me. I felt like I was way over the top with my energy, but it wasn't until I got up to that point that I started speaking in the volume and filling the space like I really needed to fill it. And this last weekend, I had my first live presentation in 2 years. And I remember getting on stage and remembering, I need to crank this energy up on this talk. I need to fill this room up. And I just pumped myself up before I got on stage to make sure I was up there with enough energy to fill the room and connect with the people that were, sitting 30, 40, 50 feet away from me. So the tip for today is your speaking takes a lot of energy. Put the energy into it. Find your sweet spot so that you are delivering at the level you need to deliver. Not under, not over. I'll see you next week.